I like don't believe in mass women who wear wired bras, cut bras, or panties.
This is Shana.
And Kris.
And we are Bad Queers. If you came out of the closet and can't.
Can't. No. And can't. You just leave it there, friend. I'm going to pick it up. This week in Queer Urban Dictionary, I have friendcest. Friendcest, which is romantic and or sexual involvement between members of the same circle of friends. A deeper dive, friendcest combines friend and incest, highlighting the potential for drama, awkwardness, and disruption to the friends or group's social dynamic if the relationship fails. Friendcest.
My Queer Urban Dictionary.
You've still not gotten it together. Still not together.
Oh my God.
Going.
Okay, man.
You got it.
No, it's actually really funny because you just like it. You added to it because the friendcest is actually something that's happening in one of my friend groups right now, and so it's just like, wow, the timing of this hilarious.
When I saw it, I was like, "Woo, this is a thing, huh?"
It is a thing. I feel like it's something that we need to discuss more about what happens, because it feels like nobody has really figured out how to manage that in friend groups, especially queer friend groups. They just don't know what to do when it goes right or if it goes wrong. So
yeah,
because
it will change the dynamics if it goes very right too. You might not see them.
Yes, like regardless,
you might not see them anymore,
the dynamics
but
are changed.
Like it just the dynamics.
Regardless, the dynamics are changed. So it's like even if it does go really well and you're super happy for them and all of that, it's like no matter what, the dynamics change, and folks haven't figured out really how, in my opinion, how to talk about it or bring it up. That's or. So funny. Anything.
You're like talking about somebody specifically, right now. So that's why it makes it just a little bit funnier. You're like, they just don't know how to talk through things and just, communicate. And
you just got to talk. I've seen it happen for so many friend groups. It's like, it's just funny because it's happening like right now. But I have been in multiple friend groups and
anybody I know?
None of them.
Offline. Okay. Maybe I don't know them, but it'd be nice. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll talk offline.
You're like, you've come to visit now, and you're like, I'm just
anybody I know?
People. It's like you're playing Clue. You're fully playing Clue every time you come.
I am. I love Clue. I just actually introduced Clue to Chalet. Beat my ass. She like swept me that night. I was like, I have to.
She's never played Clue?
She's never played Clue. She didn't really play games like that. Like I always tell her like, woof, your childhood. You're like biz kid. She's like Richie Rich. Like I feel like she always was traveling to do businessy kids things, which is great, but also like, but yeah, so she's like 6-0 that night. We played Clue for the first time, and I was like, all right, enough. After the 6 games,
I take it back.
We haven't played since. I have to regroup and get back into it. I have to find my chi or
create
find
a new strategy.
Something. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna need you to start listening to true crime podcasts to see if you can start guessing like what happens.
I'm gonna rewatch the 80s movie with Tim Curry. I'm gonna get into all of it. Yeah. I have to be Clue again. So yeah, I lost my way. I lost my way. So
you'll find it again. Don't worry.
I'll find it. It starts with the movie.
Yeah, truly.
Press play on that.
You got to go back to that. Go to the origin.
Yeah.
Go to the origin. Oh, my Queer Urban Dictionary word of the week is she owns everything. So this describes someone who looks so rich and glamorous that it's as if they own everything. In other words, opulence. So you would hear this in the ballroom scene. My sentence is that Bob the Drag Queen credits ballroom legend Junior for coining the phrase, she owns everything. And this comes from LGBTQ Nation. All right, this week we have company. This week we welcome Baddie Galore, who was raised in Misawa, Japan. The Baddie Galore is an LGBTQIA plus digital creator and event curator based in Washington, D.C., with over 8 years of experience in digital marketing, nightlife, and blogging. She creates engaging lifestyle content with sharp recaps of pop culture, social media trends, and online discourse. The Baddie Galore is also 1/3 of the Frequency Class, a Black lesbian-led party promoting group and social club dedicated to creating fun, safe spaces for Black queers in D.C. Additionally, she is part of 3 groups that produce DC Black Pride each year, helping deliver affirming events for the community.
All right, y'all, we got company today. Baddie Galore, welcome to the Bad Queers.
Hello, I'm excited to be here. The nominated Bad Queers, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you
Wow.
so
It's the
much.
first
Thank you.
time somebody
Thank
said
you.
it out loud.
Yeah, that is so exciting. That's such a big deal.
Yeah. No, it's been great. Thank you for that. You are our first person to say that on air. So thank you. So
No problem.
all right. So you were raised in Japan and now you're based in DC.
Yeah.
How do those two places show up in your personality?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like you can definitely tell that I'm like not American raised. Like I don't think I have an accent. Some people say I can get a little country sometimes. I did live in South Carolina for a couple years, but I don't think it influenced me that much to have an accent. But my mom is retired military, so I'm a military brat. And DC is the longest place I've ever lived my entire life. And it's all been my adult life. So I moved here when I was 20 and I am 33. So this is the longest I've lived in one place. But Japan is quite literally my favorite place in the whole wide world. And you'll know because all I eat is Asian food all the time. It's my favorite food to eat. I meal prep it every week. If you ever want to go out with me to eat at a restaurant, it's going to be sushi. It's going to be Asian food, Thai food, anything. I'm like down with it.
Yeah. It's truly the superior food, like if we're being honest.
It really is.
It's so good. It's pick a place.
It's so good. And I'm like,
misses.
I love DC down. I'm like a Howard grad. I'm a stereotypical Howard grad. HU, you know, I talk about it. It's my personality, right? And I live the typical like Black DC queer life. I'm in the streets. I'm partying. I love 14th Street. I love U Street. I love 9th Street. You know what I mean? I don't claim to be from DC, but DC is definitely my home.
Yeah, 13 years will do it. Like that's enough.
Yeah.
Playing in DC. Yeah,
That's a lifetime.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, and both Kris and I are from Virginia, and so I was in Northern Virginia. Kris was more in like the Hampton area.
757.
Yeah,
Norfolk,
there we go.
Virginia Beach and everything. But I went to school at George Mason, so we both have DMV ties in that way. So
that's just up the street. Yeah, I went to the very first what was that concert tour of like Omarion, Bow Wow, B2K. Millennium Tour was at the George Mason campus. That's my first time, first and last time ever going because it was so far.
You're not missing it. You are not missing anything in Fairfax.
You did the tour.
Like
honestly,
why would I ever be going to Fairfax? Please.
It is so not a college town, and they try to this day to make sure that it's not. So it was cool to be able to go into the city, but I was always envious of y'all that got to stay. We had to trek it back, get the orange line back.
DC's kind of like a fake college town over and over. Like Howard University is uptown. Then you have American University. Then you have George Washington University. Then you have Gallaudet. Like it, and then you also
Georgetown.
have Georgetown. And it's Catholic University. Like there's a lot of schools here, and they're all in the city, all of them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like a Georgetown, a college town multiple times over. It's so interesting.
Yeah. And then you have College Park in, UMD right there. So the whole area.
This is huge. It's just nothing but colleges.
Yeah.
And, the United States government. So
balance.
That is
right.
Yeah.
All right, so you mentioned that you're outside in DC a lot, hitting the queer scene, but what is your earliest queer memory?
Oh my God. My earliest queer memory. You know what? I think I always been around gay people. Like when I realized I was queer, it's very important for me to immerse myself into the culture because I did not grow up around queer people at all. And so I think my earliest memory was I was on a date with this girl. I think I met her off like Tinder or something. I don't even know. We were at Nellie's, which is a very iconic gay bar. Though they've lost a lot of love for me because a couple years ago, they pushed that black girl down the stairs and I did not go for years. I think I've been one time since then, all jokes aside. Like, I was not playing with that because that was crazy. I was on this date. The date was fine, right? I don't even know if I remember the girl, to be honest. And we're on the balcony at Nellie's. and these two gay guys come out, and one says to me, "I love your outfit." And they actually became two of my best friends for many years. Me and Damien are still brother and sister, like one of my lifelong friends. And it just is a perfect representation of how DC queer culture can be, where you can just be out at the bar, you meet somebody, it's a gay guy, he likes your outfit, which is the biggest compliment you can ever get from any person in the world, and they become your lifelong friend. You've spent birthdays together and homecomings together and, you know, holidays together. And for many of my early years in DC, I only hung out with gay men. I went to all the gay parties. I'd be the only lesbian there for years, which is probably a big part of why I became a lesbian party promoter. Because, like, where are my people at?
Yeah.
Where are the gay girls?
It gets to a point where you're like, all right.
Yeah.
I got to find my own space with it.
Yeah,
How much
for sure.
has DC changed in the 13 years you've been out there?
I don't think the culture has changed, right? Like, DC is so rooted in Black culture and history and importance. I don't think that's changed. Obviously, the way the city look has changed. COVID definitely changed the infrastructure of the social scene. I think the Black social scene has lived a long life even with COVID, but a lot of bars closed down, a lot of restaurants closed down. Chinatown used to be popping. Chinatown's a ghost town. There's no shopping in DC anymore. I mean, you have to go to Virginia to shop now, literally. Like, there's nowhere to go to a store. Like, if I need something, a quick outfit, you can't find it in DC. But my community has stayed the same. And so, like, it hasn't changed that much for me. The biggest loss is brunch. DC was known for brunch culture. It was like one of our biggest features. Like, you could go get a bottomless brunch, $35. Yes. Me and my friends, I would brunch Saturday, Sunday, day party, at home by 11, work by 9 a.m. Like, that was our culture.
It's culture.
And you just can't brunch the same anymore. They just don't have the same deals anymore. They don't have bottomless. And I don't believe in brunch if I'm not having bottomless mimosas. And like, me and my friends, every birthday celebration I had, we brunch. Now I'm just like, what's the point? It's not the same.
That's so funny. My wife said that the other day that the B in brunch stands for bottomless. And I was like, no. And she's like, it's no use going to brunch if there's not bottomless.
No, but it does, though. No, 100%. Like, there's no point if it's not bottomless. And it has to be less than $40. Anything higher than that, you're not getting my coin. Yeah.
They get out of hand. There were some high-end ones in DC. It was like the first. I mean, DC brunch culture is its like own thing.
It's its whole, its own. Sunday Fun Day is DC.
Innovative.
Like, you get up, you go to brunch, right? You're there at latest 1 o'clock. You brunch, then you go to a hookah lounge on 9th Street. You smoke hookah. I don't smoke hookah, but you know, your friends smoke hookah, you drink, and then you probably hit a day party. And day parties in DC really means like 5 to 10, right? And then you're home by 11.
Miss it. I miss it.
And that's a perfect day.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so you co-host the Queer Agenda every week with Boss Brit and DJ XL, who are friends of the pod, and we love them. And y'all cover everything. Real conversations about pop culture, drama, the tea. What's your process for choosing topics week to week, and how do you decide what deserves a deeper conversation versus a quick, like, let's just get into it moment?
Yeah, so honestly, we try to choose the most viral topics of really, now we film every 2 weeks. So the most viral topics that happen. The good thing is I already kind of do that content for my TikTok. I mean, I do. The difference between how I do my TikTok and the Baddie Galore and how I do Queer Agenda is I don't give my opinion on TikTok. I just state the facts. I just lay out the timeline. I lay out the tea, the mess, right? And it's because I don't want my personal opinion to distract the information that I'm giving. I also don't want to argue with nobody in the comments. Like, I'm a Leo. I don't like unsolicited opinions from anybody. So I don't want to argue back and forth. So I just like stick to the facts, and I'm really good at it. And I do a lot of research. So it's me watching videos, it's me taking notes, it's me finding receipts. I have a ton of screenshots. And so the good thing is when it comes to doing the show, I already have a lot of the work done, but it does take another level of like changing the conversation, right? And like informing Boss Brit and XL like what we're talking about. But it's usually the most viral, or sometimes usually the most important. Like, we talked about true crime, we've talked about laws that have happened that have affected the queer community. It's not just mess and tea, right? It's like things that we think are important. And we also discuss it. Like, we will send each other little clips and videos and links, and then we'll decide like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about today. Sometimes we make last minute decisions. It's usually like the most viral and the most important and the most impactful.
Your TikTok is how I found you, because I felt like you, when I do get on TikTok, because it's not even my platform, but I always thought like the way you do cover content is like very journalistic and what I'm used to and what I grew up with, where you don't give your opinion. What was a decision around that? Like why is it important to you to not give your opinion on the Baddie Galore?
Yeah, so the one thing that people don't know about me on TikTok is my degree is actually in journalism and communications and a focus on PR. And so I think that's why I go about it the way I go about it, because it's like just a skill set that I have. And honestly, I didn't really choose this life. It chose me. Like there was the big breakup between Ray Shonda and Lysandra, right? Lysandra, that was a big thing. And I made a
Huge.
video just being like, this is very unfortunate, because I am very big on Black queer representation on social media and media. I think it's very important. It's very lacking. And so when I don't really enjoy couple content, but I do support it because I do think it's important for us to have representation on all channels and all platforms. And so I just made a video being like, that's really sad. And then someone was like, oh, like they're on live. Can you go watch the live and recap it for me? And I was like, sure. And so I did it. And I realized that people really enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this. But so I started doing it, but then sometimes like, oh, that's wrong, or you're not right, or you missed a thing. And I really don't like that. Like I'm a Leo, I'm a perfectionist. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go about this where I am always saying the honest truth, and I always have receipts to back up what I'm saying. And I'm going to find as many details as I can say, and I'll never co-sign something that I can't back up. And so I think it just became almost like an integrity thing for me. And that's why I don't really ever delete things. And that's why I don't allow people to like get offended by my content, or like not get offended, but like I don't get mad when people are offended, because I'm like, I'm only saying what's out there. I'm only pulling the receipts that are publicly in the sphere. I'm not making anything up. And it's just an integrity thing, because like it is gossip, but it's gossip with receipts behind it. It's mess, but it's mess that's out there, and I'm just like stringing it together. I also am someone who lacks a lot of patience. So when I'm watching TikToks, I want you to get straight to the point. What is the tea? What do you get? What is the recap? Give me exactly what it is. And so I make content that I want to see. So my skill set is like taking a lot of content and making it really concise. And I try to keep my videos under 6 minutes. Honestly, 6 minutes is pushing it. And I always try to only do one part. And I try to have as much receipts as possible to back up what I'm saying.
It's good to know your background is in journalism, and you see those principles coming out in that with not giving your opinion. Do you also extend that, and I feel like I know the answer to this, but do you extend that to making sure like you're not like first, but yeah, you have the most like rounded, thorough, like thoroughly researched content that goes out there that's still digestible in under 6 minutes?
Yeah, it's not a goal for me to break the news or break the tea or break the drama. Honestly, it only serves me to wait and see everything first, because people will say stuff and you're like, oh, what's happening? And then you research and like, well, that's not true. So if I just would have just repeated what someone else said, then like now I'm spreading mistruths. I also like Google things. Like if it's like things that could be like a criminal case or like celebrity included, I Google it. And a lot of my research comes from like actual articles and not just things that I see on TikTok, because that always doesn't tell the whole story. Yeah, it's not important for me to drop it first. It's just, I like for it to be factual. Because again, I just don't want people in my comments being like, you're lying or that's not true. It's okay to say I missed things. It's okay to add more context, but I never want people to think that I'm just like making things up to get views, because sometimes I spend hours on the video and it doesn't do well. And it just is what it is, right? Because I'm not doing it for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with a ton of misinformation out there, it's really hard to figure out who to believe and where to even go to search. So it's good to hear how much research you are doing and being able to look into stories deeper and gain that understanding so that folks know they can trust you and trust the work that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a long time to accept the role in which I play in this kind of like recap mess and tea drama and be seen as like a source, because I don't present myself as a journalist, because I'm not doing journalism work. I am doing a form of it. The way I go about my research is a form of journalism, but the way I present it is not that. Like it is just mess and tea at the end of the day. But I do appreciate that people like depend on me, and like people DM me and they're like, can you recap this? And have you seen this? Like, I need you to cover this. Like, I really am seen as a source to certain people, and I like it. I will admit, I like it.
Is there any content you're not doing now that you would love to do? Like you mentioned you didn't, couples content you'll do because it's popular. We all love mess. We love gossip. But is there any content you're not doing now that you would love to do?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could show more of myself in my life. Like, I think I'm a very interesting person, and like, I do really cool things. Like, I've gotten super into my fitness. I lost 40 pounds. It's become like a big part of my life. I'm super into like my diet and my home and stuff. Like more lifestyle content. I have actually always wanted to be like a lifestyle content creator. Like that always has been my goal, and I've done a lot of ways of like doing different versions of that. Like I had a fashion blog for many years. I had a YouTube channel for like a year. Like that's why I have this very expensive camera that I'm filming on, right? And that's always been like my end goal. But for some reason, people just prefer me talking at them. Like I've tried to, share clips from the podcast or clips from the frequency class parties that I throw, and they just don't hit the same as my recap videos. And what's so crazy is like the way I built my TikTok following was from me showing my lifestyle, but it was me talking about my dating life. So I would make videos and be like, hey, I'm about to go on a date. This is what I'm wearing. This is the outfit. Okay, bye. And those videos is what got me to like 10K, probably around like 15K. But it was the recap videos that took me off into like the platform I have today. So, and I've tried to bring it back. People just don't care. And I'm like, I can't force it on them. Like, what am I going to do?
Gotta stay in the game. They won't let you out of the game. They're like, nah,
right.
Nah, you're in there.
They will not.
The TikTok audience is serious, especially because I love the artwork that you have every time you post your videos. And I'm like, man, I really want to like have you do a breakdown of what is hanging on your walls. And I'm like, well, if your art looks great, your house probably looks great. What does your house look like? Things like that I'm curious about. But I know that they strict out here in these TikTok streets. So
yeah, it's like sometimes like once you're in your niche, it's really hard to break out of it. But I don't want to be like ungrateful for it. You know what I mean? Because like that niche helped me pay off my tax bill. You know what I'm saying? It helped me pay off my student loan bills, right? So like, who am I to be like, don't put me in the box? Like, hey, this is not a bad box to be in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I am trying to like post more like lifestyle stuff on Instagram because I don't cross promote. Like I don't post my TikToks on Instagram and vice versa. So I feel like that my Instagram audience knows me more as just like key, like who I am as a regular person on an everyday basis. And so like those videos do a little bit better than like on TikTok. On TikTok, they just do not care at all.
They're like, get to the recap. Could care less. Like, don't bring that over here.
Get to the tea.
But at least you have the different places to go because like, even if your, the recap obviously is paying the bills, is paying for things, and you can still do, the lifestyle content and stuff and build your tribe that way.
Exactly.
How do you decide what to share online? Like personally, like you mentioned, sharing your dating, like how do you decide what to share and what not to share?
Yeah. So the interesting thing about the dating was like, I never showed anybody. I would just be like, I'm going on a date. I met this. So at the time it was post-pandemic, so it's like 2022. I had gone through a big breakup during the pandemic, and I had gone through a couple like very unhealthy relationships, and I got into therapy really heavily. And I was complaining to my therapist about my dating life, and she's like, well, are you dating? And I was like, oh, am I? And so I just like out of instinct was like, oh, I'm gonna make this TikTok video because I was still new to TikTok. I was really into it. I thought it was for kids, right? That's when it was still like dance videos and lip sync and stuff like that. But as I started to seriously date, I was like, oh, I'm not sharing that anymore. And what's so funny is I was out one time hosting a party, and I was outside taking pictures of my best friend. And this girl was like, hey, like I follow you on TikTok. Like, why haven't you given this update about your dating life? And I was like, oh, well, that's strange. It kind of creeped me out a little bit. Like I knew the girl was well-intentioned and like we're still mutuals today. Like it's fine. But I was just like, oh, like y'all are like in my business for real. And before I did TikTok, I used to be on Twitter super heavy, Black lesbian Twitter. And I was kind of known on Black lesbian Twitter. And I was in a lot of very public relationships on Black lesbian Twitter. And what comes with public relationships is people like me who gonna talk about it, who gonna have opinions about it, right? And so like after going through a whole bunch of like very bad public breakups, even before I did TikTok, I was like, I'll never share my relationship. And I still haven't. Like, I've never posted my girlfriend. We'll be together almost 2 years in May. I've never posted her on TikTok. I've never posted her on Instagram. I post her like in my close friends because those are people who I actually know in real life and who I trust. And it's not because I'm hiding her. Like, if you see me out in person, my girlfriend's with me. I don't hide the fact I'm in a relationship. But it's just, I've done that life before, and I'm just never interested in doing it again. Like, even if we were to get married, I'd be the only person in the wedding pictures that I post, for real. And it helps that she's like not into social media. So that's like a big thing. I also like don't share any personal stories, really. I did my first story time last week, and the video didn't do well, which was fine with me, only because the people that I've dated and the people that I'm friends with and my family did not choose to be on TikTok with the platform that I have. It's my platform. So I don't feel like it's fair for me to like talk about them, even though it's me talking about my experiences, because you never know what reaction you're going to get. And people already like me. So if I talk about how somebody like broke my heart, they're going to automatically have my back and start attacking this person who did not ask for it. So that's like one of the rules that I have for myself. So even when I had bad dates, I never talked about it. If I stopped dating a person, I never mentioned it. I just like moved on to the next person, because I just think that it's not fair to them to be a part of like my viral moment.
Yeah. Or be made into content. Like, it's really thoughtful about their feelings and all that. That's cool.
Yeah, even if they weren't great people. You know what I mean? It's just like, my TikTok is my thing, and so I would not put that on anybody else, for real.
Makes sense.
Yeah. What do those conversations look like to be able to set boundaries in your relationships around social media? I feel like a lot of people have issues with that today.
Yeah, so like I said, like my girlfriend is not a big social media person, so it was like a very easy conversation. Like we talked about it, like we don't even follow each other on social media. It's not important to us. I don't need her to post me because she's not on social media. She knows that I don't post her publicly. It's not a big deal. If I post her to my close friends, she'll like look at the story with me. Like that's the extent of it. And in the past, obviously, like people have known me as a TikTok creator. I've had people like, oh, I saw your TikTok about you coming on this date before you came. That's fine. Like, I'm not going to hide the fact that I do that, right? But I have had people who wanted me to be like a social media couple with them. And I don't like that. Like, that's not the thing that I'm into. I don't want to feel like you're with me because of like my platform. Because like, yes, I have a large following, but I'm still just a regular person at the end of the day. I'm not an influencer. I'm not a celebrity, right? I'm known to certain people and certain audiences, but like, there should never be a reason why you're trying to use me for clout. Like, that's weird. Like, I'm not even well known enough for that. So there have been times where I had to be like, yeah, I'm never going to post you. Do you understand that? Like, that's never going to be a thing. It's not important to me. And I've had people who like outed our relationship publicly without my like consent. And I did not enjoy that. Like, why are you posting us publicly without me knowing? Like, that's just weird. And I think it's just because, again, like when you're a public person, however, in whatever degree, in whatever space, there are some things you want to keep to yourself. And my relationships have always been one of them, because I just don't like the drama that it can bring and the like unsolicited opinions that it can bring. Or like breaking up with people and then people being like, oh yeah, I never liked her for you. She wasn't that cute. That's wild, right? Like, you don't know me. But when you share a certain amount of yourself on the internet, it makes people feel comfortable. And it's very contradictory for me to say this as someone who like recaps people's breakups and like ends of marriages and stuff. But like, that's why I don't do it. Because if my relationship was public, I'd have to be okay with somebody doing the same thing to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, for better or for worse, like you do at this point, especially in social media influencing, like it is, you know what you're getting into. So if you do show, you know, this much of your relationship, let's say you show everything, then yeah, people want to know the breakup. People want to know everything. Like, keep going to the end.
Yeah.
Feel entitled.
So it's kind of hard to,
yeah,
exactly. Which is
and so but I felt this way even before I did TikTok. Like, again, Black lesbian Twitter was very much a real thing for many, many years, and I had very public relationships, and the experiences traumatized me. And so I was like, oh, I actually am never going to post anybody again, and I literally never did, and I wasn't playing about that.
How did that person who asked you to be in like a social media relationship even approach you with that? Was that like in person, or did they like DM you like, hey, like want to talk to you about something? Like,
well, we were actually like dating. We were actually girlfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
And what they would do is like every time we were together, they would post me. And it felt very intentional. Like, I want y'all to know that I'm with Baddie Galore, right? Mm-hmm. And like, it wouldn't just be like pictures of us, but like just pictures of me, videos of me. And like, when I was on Twitter really heavily, I lived in this apartment off of Capitol Street, off of South Capitol Street. And I had this really big mirror, and I always took pictures in that mirror. Like, I always, like, my pictures are known for that background, that space, right? Like, the way people know this background, people knew that background. And so when anyone was in my house, if they took pictures in that mirror, they automatically knew they were at my house. And so she would do that. And so like, we hadn't even announced that we were together, but she was taking pictures in my mirror. And so then it was just kind of like, oh, now people are like connecting the dots. And I could just tell like she wanted us to like be seen as a couple on social media. And I'm like, but I just want to date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be your girlfriend. And so it felt very intentional in like a really icky way. And I've had also people be like, girls I'm talking to, like, oh, like, would you ever want to do YouTube with me? No, actually, I would not. But I think there's this perception that because I'm already on social media and I have platforms that I would want to like make money in that way. And the reason why I don't believe in couple content is not because I think it's inherently bad or negative, but I think that sometimes people can lose themselves in the money that you're making. And people can stay in relationships much longer than what's healthy because they're making so much money. And I think it's really not a good idea to brand yourself as a couple, because when that couple breaks up, one person always loses at that game. And so I just think that like, for the sake of the relationship, don't even put yourself in that position. Or if you are, be ready for what that could look like, because you might be the one on the losing side. And so it's nothing I've ever been interested in. And I say it all the time, actually, like I don't love couple content. It doesn't matter if it's queer or not.
Yeah. I like it from afar. I like gossiping about it.
Yeah.
But I don't like to follow them. I can't. Like, it's like,
yeah,
I don't know what's produced.
I don't follow
Like,
any couples. Yeah. And that's another thing. Like, I think a lot of content is not authentic, because like what happens is one video goes super viral, right? Like there's one thing that really takes you out there and people continue to expect it from you. And so sometimes you have to start creating that content. And then now it's a job and it's not a relationship. And like for me, as someone who took a long time to even want to be in a serious relationship, it's very sacred to me. So I rather focus on that part than like making content and being popular on the internet. That's no shade to people who do. To each his own, right? And I do again think it's very important to have co-representation when it comes to like influencers and content creators and couple content creators. Like they're necessary so that young queer people can see examples of like what they could have in their lives, but just like not for me.
Yeah. When you look at the landscape of like lesbian TikTok, or we could do lesbian Twitter, whichever one floats your fancy. I know that you're a big reality TV show fan as well. So how would you describe...
Thank you for noticing. Yes, I am.
Yes. How would you describe lesbian TikTok or lesbian Twitter as a reality TV show? Like, what would you compare it to?
Oh my God. Like, Are You the One? Right? And like Love is Blind. Like Love is Blind, but like with social media, but very much the same. Or like Are You the One, which is like that old MTV show where you had all those people in the house and you're supposed to find your connection, but like you just end up connecting with the person you like. And even when you're told that that's not your connection, you keep dating them anyways. Like that was Black lesbian Twitter for sure. And I feel like, I mean, I don't really like, I never dated off of TikTok. I met one girl off of TikTok and she was nuts, but whatever. Like by the time I got to TikTok, I wasn't dating off of social media in that way, but I definitely dated off of Black lesbian Twitter. And that's definitely Are You the One? And then I feel like lesbian TikTok is more like Love is Blind for sure. And maybe a little Bad Girls Club.
Just a little razzle-dazzle.
Just a little Bad Girls Club. Are there any content creators that you love, like especially lesser known ones that you just love their content you go to? It doesn't have to be in the queer space, but just any content out there that you absolutely love, like you look for it and love how it's produced.
Can I look at my phone so I can say their names correctly? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I don't like, I'm someone who like doesn't follow a ton of people on social media for whatever reason, but there are a few who I like. Oh, I'm on, my phone's on airplane mode. I'm like, why don't I have any internet? Like, what is my problem? There are a ton of people from like Black lesbian Twitter that I still very much love and adore who like aren't like content creators. But there is this guy named, he goes by Tell the Bees. He does very great recaps. I'm trying to find his page. He does, Tell the Bees. He does really great like pop culture, politics, reality TV show recaps are just like so insightful. He's a big reader. So a lot of what he says comes from like a base of like knowledge and understanding. And like his videos, I like really, yes. And I like really long videos to listen to like when I'm in the shower and stuff. And so like that's why I listen to like a lot of his videos and stuff. And we're mutual. So like adore him. Right. And then I have obviously Jackiana, love Jackiana. She's a huge content creator, but like love her beauty, love her influencer stuff. And then I also really love this girl named Rach Jackson. She does a whole bunch of reality TV show recaps. I was supposed to meet up with her in Chicago and actually was able to, but she does so many good reality TV show recaps. And then there's also this Game of Thrones historian that I love to listen to because I'm a big Game of Thrones fan and I've never read the books. And so she knows the knowledge of like the books and stuff. So I feel like because of my content, I watch a little bit of everything because I recap everything. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm in the most random pockets of TikTok all the time.
Keeps it well-rounded. It's a lot of good content out there that's like very specific and all that. So
yeah, for
that's
sure.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the frequency class because that's celebrating 6 years this year. And also we're celebrating the podcast hitting 6 years this year. So look at us maintaining things for long amounts of time.
Yes.
So when you look ahead, what do you want it to grow into next? Are you planning on it going to different cities or new types of events, something deeper for the community? What is the vision now that you're in it, you've done it, and you know what?
Yeah, so I feel like last year we started to really put into practice like a new way of doing frequency class. So obviously it's always been about like club parties. That's our bread and butter. That's never going to change. We know our audience. They want sections. They want hookahs. They want bottles. They want a good DJ. Like that's the vibe. And we really cater to the crowd who grew up in the clubs when they were younger in the casual business attire, right? Like we were in the clubs with blazers. That's who still comes to our parties today. That is never going to change. But there has been this trend within like lesbian communities. I don't know if just in DC, but like in DC where they want things that are just like not in the club. So we introduced the Frequency Class Social Club last year and we started with watch parties for the WNBA finals and that did really well. So we brought it back again this year for Unrivaled and that has been such a great way to like connect with our audience in such a casual, more intimate space. Like I've made friends from these parties because usually I'm like running through the party, dropping hookah, sitting tables. I'm like working where this we're just like sitting and watching basketball and it's just so much chill. We want to do run clubs. We want to do like, you know, events where you make flower bouquets. We might do mini golfing. Like we want to just be able to like further connect with our community that's also not in the club. But the interesting part though is like when we host events that don't have like a party component, they're like, well, where's the party at? Where's the after party? Like, where are we going after this? So like our first couple watch parties were just a watch party and we're like, oh, we're all going home. They're like, no, like fresh, you're not DJing. And so now our watch parties are followed up with a after party if you want to stay and have fun, or if you want to just come to the after party and you don't want to watch the basketball part. So it almost like gives people options. And of course we want to grow. Like we would love to go to other cities. Like we thought about Richmond, we thought about Atlanta, but like DC's our home, you know what I mean? So like we're going to continue to like feed into our community and like provide with our community. And then we have Pride coming up. So last year was our first year being partners for Unleash DC Black Pride, and that has been around for a decade. We were junior partners before and just promoters before that. So that's a relationship that really grew into it. And last year we came kind of last minute, but this year we're planning it literally from the ground up. And I feel like that is easily like one of our biggest accomplishments as a party promoting group because Pride is like, I remember my first Pride in DC. Like I've been going to Pride for many years. So to go from like just attending Pride to being a part of creating Pride and that experience in that community, I think is like truly a feeling that's unmatched and like just so like I just never thought I'd be a party promoter, but I'm so grateful to be one doing this for our community.
Love that. What is your ideal like queer function, like where you're not working, this is just something you go to? Like what's the music like, what's the energy like, what kind of function is it?
Yeah, so I want a section. Okay, I want like 2 to 3 bottles of champagne. House champagne is perfectly fine. A bubbly is a bubbly, but I want it in a champagne glass. I hate a cup, right? Like I'm a stickler about glassware. I want to use what I should be using to drink what I'm drinking. So if it's a water glass, it's a water glass. If it's a juice glass, it's a juice glass. If it's a wine glass, wine, right? Like I don't drink water out of a wine glass. That's not my thing. So a couple of bottles of house champagne. I want a seat because I do wear a heel. I want champagne glasses and I want some booty popping music the entire time. I want Sexy Red. I want Meg Thee Stallion. I want straight up hip hop. I'm cool off. Like, I could just do hip hop the entire time. And then as the night winds down, I need some go-go and I need some R&B. I need some Fantasia at the very end as we go out. I better hear a couple go-go songs. When you hear go-go, you know the club is wrapping up. But I need at least 3 to 4 go-go songs. And then Fantasia, When I See You, we're walking out the door. The Uber is there. And I want to be surrounded by nothing but beautiful Black queer people. Wall to wall. Wall to wall. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, it don't matter. I just want you to be Black and I want you to be queer and I want to be able to look at you while I sip on my champagne.
And when I say you painted the picture there, like, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there.
Visual.
I can smell the people.
I'm there.
I can smell the people.
The club.
I feel the vibes.
I see the hookah smoke in the air. Are you kidding me?
Right. No, truly. That was the number one thing. I was like, the haze.
Yeah.
Perfect. Touch of class. I would go.
Yeah.
I just need more seating in the club environment. Like, I do want to, like, whatever happens with clubs, like, if we could just have more seating, whatever we need to do, like, that's my thing. If you cannot,
and so that's,
get a section.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, the younger generation, they want to be in the club like how we were in the club back in the day where there are no seats and you're just sitting the entire time and, like, it's cheap to get in and drinks are cheap and it's like a dance party. And it's like, I get it, but I also have to be able to sit down. I need an
I don't have the joints anymore. I was them.
Hello?
Okay.
I'm in my 30s. Like, I need to be able.
It doesn't work the same way. It just doesn't.
To sit down. Exactly.
Yeah. To be young. I did especially in DC, it was a firm Thursday to Monday for years and all that. So, like, I don't have much of anything left, needs wise.
Yeah.
Like, it has to, you gotta sit somewhere.
I was the girl standing outside in the winter in the dress, no coat on because I didn't want to pay for the coat check, in heels, waiting for an hour to get into the place. Like, I can't do it anymore. I don't have the stamina.
See, the good thing about being the party promoter is that we always have a table. So I can always bring a jacket now, right? I can put it at the table. I can put it behind the DJ booth. There'll never be and I'm the one who chooses the tables. So I'm definitely going to make sure I have a table every single time. So I can wear a jacket now. But back in the day, that was not a guarantee. Yeah. That was not a guarantee. And you had to choose the outfit or the comfort of a coat. And the outfit won every time.
I was like, it wasn't even really a choice for y'all. Y'all would say it, but it's the outfit.
Yeah.
Drink to be warm. That would be the thing. You pregame to be warm.
Exactly.
And all that. Like, and we wore a lot of layers too. This was a business casual era, so a lot of layers. I had a blazer on in the club more times than I would like to admit. Cardigan Kris was a nickname for me. A lot of cardigans. A lot of cardigans. I was
not a Kanye cardigan. Stop
it. Was a time. It was a time. It was an era. That was
so funny. I'm definitely going to call you Cardigan Kris from now on. That is so
It was a thing. It was a thing. I am so glad we didn't have social media. Like, I'd be.
We would have been embarrassed.
There would have been a series.
Very.
It would have just been like,
and I feel like there's still some on Facebook. Like, because I don't get rid of stuff. I should go back and get rid of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I have a ton of pictures.
Full albums. But you would have to go through thousands of photos. So
that's fine.
100%.
I feel like it's worth it.
You need to be doing research.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to commit to my journalistic need to find
these
photos.
If you find it, you got it. If you find it, you got it. You got it. What's one party rule you live by? Like, it is just your number one rule that you live by.
Okay, I just hope people don't get mad at me, but I do not like stragglers at my table. Like, if you don't know someone who's at this table, then you should not be over here. Like, no, you cannot sit down really quickly. No, you cannot leave your coat. No, you cannot leave your purse. Like, actually, you can't do any of those things. Like, no, you cannot have a drink. Like, do not ask me for a drink at my table with my bottle that I'm paying for. Like, that is something that really bothers me. Because, the same way that, like, you have, like, groupies in the club, like straight clubs, you have that at gay clubs too, for sure. And you have people who, like, act like they're talking to you. They want to come around because they want to smoke. It's the hookah more than anything else. Like, it's hookah. People want to smoke your hookah so bad. And I don't smoke hookah, but I'm very protective over my friend's $75 hookah. Like, no, you can't have none of that. No, like, I'm sorry, babes.
I bet you watch them come over too. Like, cause that's the thing that like sometimes slowly develops too, where they're just like, I'm gonna wait for, and it's like, nah, they're like, this is a whole setup. Like, it's game.
Yeah. Like, no, you
I know what you're doing.
And like, if I'm at my table completely by myself, that's okay. No.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's so funny.
Sorry.
No, that's a real
Yeah.
rule, though. They're
Yeah,
out there.
for
It's like
sure.
for the people who are, because I've seen this happen where if there are folks who are a bit too shy or a bit too passive to say anything to those people, like what would you tell people to say just to get them away from your space?
Like, I'd be like, someone's sitting here. Someone's sitting here.
Simple.
Oh, you can't see her. I'm so sorry. Like,
Easy.
the thing is, I'm like a very confrontational person. I'm not, I'm reserved, but I'm like very, very direct. So I'm just like, oh no, someone's sitting here. Because like the other day we went to a party. It wasn't my party. It was my friend's party. And we had a table and people had left their coats there. And they had left their coats there before we had even sat down. And so me and my homegirl, we had our coats down, we had our purses down. And one girl who was drunk off her ass was going through our stuff, grabbing our purses because she was like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like grabbing our purses to where my friend had to be like, can I have their stuff back? Like, someone stole my fan. Like, they stole my fan because they were going through my stuff. So like, that's why I prefer for people just to not be in our personal space, because I'm going to put my purse down every time. And I want to know that it's not going to like be trifled through because some random person's over here looking for their stuff that they left over here. So yeah, like, no, someone's sitting here. Even if it's just me, someone's sitting here. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That helps somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody listening, that helped them. They're going to use it out there. Be a little more assertive out there.
Yeah.
Is there a place outside of DC, or where outside of DC do you like to party or love their queer scene? Like, where do you like to travel to?
Wow, I know we're not at like my bad queer opinion yet, but I just don't feel like there is a party scene compared to DC. And I'm sure that like Brit and XL would hate that because they are the top party promoters in Atlanta. But for me, it's like I've partied in Atlanta, I've partied in Miami, I've partied in New York, I've partied in California, I've partied all through down south, up and down. And every time I go out, not just gay scenes, but just any scene, night scene, I'm like, I could be doing this in DC. To me, DC has everything. There are regular bars, there are dive bars, there are hookah bars, there are sports bars, there are nice restaurants with very nice bars. Like, there are options. There are gay clubs, there are lesbian clubs, there are black clubs, there are white clubs. Like, whatever night you feel like you want to have, you can have it in DC. And you can go on the metro to do it. You can call an Uber and be there in 15 minutes. You don't have to get on the highway to go party in DC. Well, if you live in DC, you don't have to. So for me, it's just like a very like unmatched experience. Like, if I had to choose a second city, it'd be Atlanta, only because I really enjoy their after hours. Their after hours are lit. Okay. Partying until 6 a.m. when you're in the mood is kind of like that. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes when I don't throw parties, I'm not leaving my house until 12:30.
Yeah.
Easily. You know what I mean?
used to love a late arrival. It's fun.
A late arrival.
Late.
The club is over at 2:30. I don't need to leave my house until 12:30. I don't need to be there longer than 2 hours. And so if I'm only there for 2 hours and then there's an after hours, that's lit for me. So I do enjoy the fact that like Brit and them throw after hour parties after a lot of their parties, especially during their Pride. That's a fun experience for sure.
DC
but
number
to me,
one,
nothing's better than DC. I have to give Atlanta 2. Yeah, that's typical. I think if you're in Atlanta, you'd say Atlanta then DC. And I think if you're in DC, you'll say DC and Atlanta. Like, we're cousins. Fair. The gay scene are cousins.
Have you been to Chicago?
For sure. I have. Okay. So I actually went on my very first solo trip for my birthday last year, and Chicago was where I went because I had been there once before for work and wanted to go back. And I wanted to go to a gay party, but nothing was happening that weekend. So I wasn't able to attend anything queer. And that's my point. Because if you come to DC, there's a lesbian party happening every single weekend.
You were like, there was nothing to do, and that showed everything.
So I mean, they have lesbian parties there, but like, it's like once a month, right? And that's okay. But in DC, there's always something queer to do. Always.
And is it spread out in Chicago with like how they do the events, queer events out there? Like, how is it in Chicago? Or your experience?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It depends on.
You're from Chicago?
Yes,
okay.
I'm in Chicago. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know.
No, it depends on the person who's hosting it, and so they'll host it at like their cadence. So we know that this one DJ will host 2 to 3-ish parties each month, and then that they are a resident DJ at this place. Our Boys Town there's a party every night, but it's also going to be gay boy heavy. But the one Progress and Scarlet would be like the 2 black queer parties that we would end up going to. But then we also have more brick and mortar queer women spaces, but they also close kind of early. So most of the places are going to be closed by 11 o'clock or midnight if we're going to them. And then
Yeah,
sometimes
see,
on the weekends, they might be
DC,
open till 1 or 2.
yeah, DC doesn't have many queer owned spaces. I think we have maybe like 3 or 4. Some of them are like co-owned by Black women, but not many are Black owned. So we have to like find venues to throw parties. You know what I mean? We don't have our
Yeah.
own spaces to throw parties at, really.
Yeah. And I think
Is
that's
that
where like
difficult?
Chicago does it, is like we have the brick and
Better.
mortar spaces.
Yeah, it's very difficult actually. And
Still.
it's always funny because there's a big trend last year of like people, you know, reviewing parties and, you know, giving critiques on parties. And as a person who attends parties, I understood it, but as a person who throws party, I also understood it because like what a lot of people don't realize is that we have to fight to keep our spaces. Because what will happen is you'll say, okay, can we throw a party here? And the promoter says, yes, you can. And you throw the first party and everyone's going to come because it's a new party. It's a new venue they've never been to. It's very exciting. But lesbians don't spend as much money as gay men or straight people do, period, in general.
Yeah.
We don't make as much money and we also don't spend as much money, especially in nightlife, right? And so the way in which you might make $10,000, $20,000 from a straight party or a gay party, you're not going to make that same money on a regular day for a lesbian party. Definitely during Pride, for sure. But like just a regular Saturday, you're not going to make that same money. So what happens is they see your first couple parties super booked and they're really excited and they want you to come every single week. They want you to come every single month. But then once you don't start making the same money, they will immediately start replacing you. All of a sudden, somebody bought out the space the night before. They're telling you somebody bought out the space. You have to find a different venue, or this happened, or this happened. And so we're constantly have to move around because we can't find a space that will like stick with us no matter how much money we're bringing in. Because not everybody's going to buy a bottle every single time they go out. That's just not how lesbians party. During Pride, yes, but Pride is like seen as like a vacation. Like for this weekend, I'm going to get a table with me and my friends every single night because it's the one thing that we're going to do all summer. But on a regular Friday, your group of friends might not want to buy a $400 bottle. And that's just normal. But like gay men don't party like that. They buy bottles every time they go out. Obviously, straight men also do that. So like we get treated differently because the way we make money is different, and they just don't understand our community. And that's difficult because like we want to create the spaces, but sometimes we don't even have them to create.
Still the same problem. That spend is such a big thing that a lot of people don't know, that we don't buy that much alcohol like they do, and we don't have the disposable income like men do, gay or straight.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It is tough to keep an eye.
It is tough. Yeah.
Damn. Still.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think on that note, I think we're at a great time to shift over to our bad queer opinions, because what type of bad queers would we be if we didn't have unpopular queer opinions? Baddie Galore, we're excited to have you for this section. As we broke down to you before we started recording, this is the fun space to judge, follow up, agree, disagree, ask some more clarifying questions. Sometimes we have to do that. We've dropped some wild ones on here and we've had good discussions here, so have fun with it. And I'll go ahead and kick us off. And so, Baddie, this one is actually partially your fault that I came up with this bad queer opinion.
Okay.
But it's off of a video that you did about Marina and Sanaya recently. So the WNBA players.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I think that, especially like with couples and speculation, there's a lot of discourse around whether or not we should be pushing people out of the closet or not. And my bad queer opinion is that I'm really here for the innocent speculation of celebrity potential couples. I feel like it gives us hope in today's age where we don't have any right now. And we need something to hold on to. And I love the amount that they have both been posting, sharing their videos, Sanaya doing real cute shit. And as long as y'all don't make it weird and or obsess over it, just like note it, pay attention to it, we get to discuss it. I'm going to innocently speculate, and I kind of love it because we deserve to have this hope that, hey, maybe this Marina not being able to leave Connecticut because Connecticut's son were assholes about it and turned into this love story is great.
Yeah.
And I'm here for the innocent speculation.
I mean, like I said, they were the worst kept secret in the WNBA. Like everyone knew they were dating. It was obvious from the beginning. But what I again try to do is like, I don't try to make definite videos until I have evidence. And so when Sanaya started posting like, you're decorating her apartment, like that's your girlfriend. Like
You are hand blowing.
My friends have decorated
balloons.
Like my friends have decorated for me too, but also like y'all were in the pool together. Like just be so honest with yourselves the entire time. But we'll wait until you guys want to admit that y'all are girlfriend and girlfriend. It's fine. And they did on Valentine's Day. So like, welcome.
So cute.
You kind of all knew.
So cute.
Right.
That's so funny.
And I love it for them.
I love innocent speculation. That's fun with
Yeah.
It's hard.
A lot of people are like, leave them alone. They should be able to do whatever. And I'm
I
like,
ignore
let
those
me
people. Right. Like they're in the comments like, why is this a topic? Why are you watching the video? You could have scrolled.
Never understand those people.
And you commented.
Thank you for the
Like,
comment and
here.
engagement, but also you don't have to, like, if you're truly bothered, like, honestly, like, commenting is like the worst thing you could do. If you really do hate the content,
Exactly.
like, you're really,
because when I don't like a video, you know what I do? I scroll past it and keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, even might go in my settings and be like, you know, make sure it doesn't algorithm wise go
Yeah.
off the handles with it. Like, I
Exactly.
don't want this anywhere. So
Exactly.
oh, cool. Well, my bad queer opinion. This is going to be a parenting one. This is
Okay.
It comes up. It comes up every now and then. Mostly this happened with
Okay.
family members, but this will happen now. Asking a queer couple with kids, do y'all have the same donor for your kids? That's an inside thought, y'all. Keep it there. Keep it inside. Unless you're like actively building your family, looking into building your family, or asking with a purpose and respect, like keep it in the drafts. Like people are going to think that, but first off, it doesn't matter, but also like it's rude. It's rude as fuck to ask, you know, if you use the same donor or, you know, questions like that. So like inside thought, just keep it there. Just keep it in there. It's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask it. You don't.
Because that is a crazy question to ask. And like, how is that your business?
Yeah. It's like you would never ask like a
Wild.
straight couple, like, is that, I mean, you do ask, is that the daddy? But you know what I mean? Like, you don't
Yeah,
casually ask, like,
maybe.
is that the daddy? Like, you would never ask
They
that.
do be
So-
asking. No, they
do be
actually
asking
do ask straight couples that.
They
Because
do
people
ask
have no
that. So
couth.
I was like, they do ask that.
People
But, you
have
know,
no
like,
couth.
they don't.
No
I was like, we're
couth
past that
at
now.
all.
But yeah, it's rude. It's just keep it inside. Like you could think that. I know people, you know, have wonders. I'm not going to tell people don't wonder these things. But yeah, asking somebody that is like rude. And it doesn't matter if they have the same donor or not with their kids. So yeah, don't ask that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like my bad queer opinion is like really bad. Like y'all's was not that bad. Mine, I
Oh,
feel
there's
like
been
is
some
very
bad-
problematic.
Oh, don't worry.
And
We just
it's
don't have it
like
every
an
week.
ode
with us.
to-
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It's an ode to like 2015 Key, who used to be on Twitter, like causing chaos. But like my bad queer opinion as someone who exclusively dates hyper masculine women is that I like don't believe in mass women who wear wired bras, cut bras, or panties. I only accept sports bras and boxer briefs, period. And it's not up for discussion. And like I will be judgmental about it, and I will stop talking to you. Like I'm so serious. And like when I see a girl outside, like if I see a mask outside in a club and I can tell she has a bra on, I'm disgusted. I said it. Okay, I said it. I'm sorry, but like it's
I'm
an
sorry.
it
The
to
wired
me, 'cause,
bra
like,
is so funny because I can see you be like,
No, that's so specific.
disgusted.
no,
Like, you
like,
give him a
and
hug,
I'm like
and I see
so
your hands moving up
serious.
and down the back.
Oh no.
Like I had a girl like hide from me that she wore bras because she knew I hated it, and I'm just like, I can tell when you're undressing that you're unhooking your bra. Like, be so for real. Yeah, I don't like it.
That's a good one, though.
people
That's a good
don't
one,
like
though.
that. I don't like that. Yeah.
And that's like,
Any
that's a
follow-up
harmless
questions?
one. That's harmless. No, that's funny as shit. Yeah, first off, someone who is a little masculine of center, I think the last wired bra I wore was certainly when I lived in my parents' house. Like, definitely stopped after I left school and came out. But yeah, that's you know, to each his own. But
Each his own.
yeah, no,
Nope. I have questions.
Okay. I'm open to questions. Yes.
How-
Okay.
What research had to be done to figure out that this was not a thing for you? At some point.
You know, okay, so this
Good
is
question.
the thing, and this is what I try to explain to people, because like I have a lot of like very strict rules. Like I run a very strict program when it comes to the type of women that I date, and it's because the very first girl I ever dated was hyper masculine. She wore a sports bra. She wore boxer briefs. She used a strap. It's all I knew. So I thought that was the normal. Like, I thought that was norm. And then like every girl I dated after that was very similar. So I didn't realize that there were like mass-centered people who were a little feminine, who I didn't know what a sim was. Like, I didn't realize that there were mass-centered people who had like wired bras and panties with bows on them. Like, I always thought like if you were a stud, you had on a sports bra, you had on a boxer brief, and you used a strap. I didn't realize that there were other versions of studs for a really long time because I was so new to the queer community. So by the time that I got exposed to the very large sphere of queers, I had already had my preferences and they weren't going to change. And so when I would try to date someone who was a little bit sim, because I do think that sims have really good sex, but then I would see the outfits and be like, okay, but I hate that though. Like, that's not enough for me to still want to rock with you because like you're kind of dressing like me. Like a panty, like I should be wearing panties. You shouldn't be wearing panties. Barbie wears panties. Ken doesn't wear panties. And that's generally how I feel. You know what I mean? So
Especially laundry. You're like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah, I just can't look past it. Because honestly, it was all I knew. Like, I thought hyper masculine women were the only type of studs out there for like many, many years. So, and
you dated like DC was your first. This was all in DC, like that you dated.
No.
Okay. I was gonna ask, was it a DC stud?
No, the first time I started dating girls was when I lived in South Carolina. I was going to college of Charleston, and that was my first time dating girls, and they were all from South Carolina. I actually have not dated that many girls from DC, like a handful.
Okay,
yeah,
interesting,
like a handful. More but even Baltimore than DC too.
More from Baltimore. Okay. Baltimore is great though. Baltimore is okay. It's great.
They have dating wise,
they're a little rough around the, but heart full of gold.
The DMV in general.
Yeah.
I've dated more people from Virginia than any other state, which is crazy.
Okay. I mean, Virginia's great. So
we're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty cool. Right. So wait, so was all the studs so in South Carolina, it was the only studs that you saw were just the very hyper masculine studs. Like, that is just what you were forged in. So that's okay. Is there any?
It's not that it was the only studs I saw. It was just the only studs I knew how to identify. Like, I didn't realize that under boy clothes, there might be someone who was like more feminine than not. Like, that wasn't something that I was exposed to until I was living in DC and like being within like the Black lesbian scene. In South Carolina, the studs are very like rough and tumble around the edges, and like they're masculine, they're hyper masculine studs. Honestly, the first girl I ever dated was more stem than not, but the only thing that made her stem was like her hair. Like, she wore her hair in like a wrap, but like all studs wore their hair in a wrap in 2014. Like, that was normal. You know what I mean? So like, I thought that was the norm for like many, many years of my life, and I was like, oh. That's not normal.
What femme traits that studs have, or just any what are the femme traits you do like, or traditionally femme traits that mask women can
not many, hyper masculine, like emphasis on hyper masculine, like,
but
you gotta stress that.
I mean, anything.
My thing is like, I love a woman who loves being a woman, knows she's a woman, and doesn't want to change she's a woman, right? Like, like touch me nots I respect and I would date and like have no problem with, but like, my preference is someone who would like to be touched and who would like to be touched in a feminine way. Like, you don't have to want to penetrate or anything like that. Like, that's up to your preference. But like, I want to be able to touch you and want to be able to be affectionate with you. And I want you to like that you're a girl and be okay with the fact that you're a girl. You don't have to be a girl, but like, if you're a girl, I'm like down with that. And that's mainly it. Like, you take care of your skin, you get your toes done, you get a manicure. But like, I really do date hyper masculine women who are more mass centered than anything else, and who are just women. That's my preference. So, and I tried them all. I tried it all. Okay, I was a equal opportunist for many, many years. I was like, you don't know if you don't like anything until you try it. So I've dated trans men, I've dated stems, I've dated femmes, I've done it all. But hyper masculine lesbians are my preference.
That's fair. No wired bra.
The comment on I can spot the wired bra is
that's so funny.
In the club, you can always tell, and it's like I can also spot a saggy sports bra too. Now, also it gives me the ick because like sports bras aren't cheap, but like you need a Nike one and you need to pull them up, and it needs to be at your chin. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
Or replace it because that means you need to retire that one. Just give it a goodwill.
Yeah, like you should be buying new sports bras and underwear on a routine basis. You really should, because you have to wear them so often. You know what I mean? Like, my sports bras are for working out. Your sports bras are for the everyday, so you should have options that are not to your belly button. I don't like that.
I love these rules. I would love to hear more of your rules, but this was a good back career opinion. Like, I would love to hear more of your rules. That is,
listen, if you heard more of my rules, I would be canceled. Trust and believe. Trust and believe.
I only show you get a little bit of cover for it, but
if I was still 2015 key, they would get me out of here so goddamn fast. They'd be like, "Girl, absolutely not."
That's so funny.
Yeah, strict program here.
The last bad queer opinion that was like that, we had somebody on that was like, absolutely not for underarm hair, like absolutely not. Like, don't.
Oh yeah,
you gotta
I don't
shave
care
that.
about
like,
that.
You know, so everybody has their things. Like, it's a preference. So
everyone
like,
has their
you
thing,
know?
yeah. But when you date hyper masculine women, they usually do not shave. So I'm like used to it for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good shot. I love it.
That was great. That was a good one. Thank you for
Don't
that.
cancel
Thank
me,
you.
y'all. Don't cancel me.
It's fine.
Yeah,
No,
it's in the title for a reason.
One.
It's in the title for a reason, so we're good. We're good. That was great. Well, what a better way. I can't think of a better way to wrap up the show. But we would never leave you without giving shout outs to our faves. My shout out this week goes to Below Cloud 97. They are at the crossroad of fashion, art, storytelling, and community. This collection shows that gender neutral doesn't mean identity less, it means expansive. So it's based in Kenya. They host shows, collectives with butch and stud models leading the way, and it's a really awesome, cool experience to see that representation in Kenya. So you can follow Below Cloud 97 on IG at Below Cloud 97.
All right, my shout out is to Shana Dixon, who is an award-winning Black filmmaker and background artist whose nostalgic Saturday morning cartoon-inspired art unlocks memories. I saw one she just did on Happily Ever After. If y'all watch that on HBO, that was my shit. She also runs a monthly snail mail subscription service that delivers joy straight to your mailbox. Really cute. You can follow and support her on IG at Shana X Banana.
And my shout out is to Frequency Class, DJ Kid Fresh, K Cruz, and myself. We turn 6 next weekend, and it is insane. We are a Black queer party promoting group here in DC, and it's important for us to create safe spaces for Black queer people. So if you're in the city and you want to come celebrate with us, pull up, because it's going to be a time. And shout out to K and Fresh. We've been doing this for 6 years. There's 2 of my close friends, and I would never imagine doing it with anybody else but them. So shout out to us. 6 years in the game.
Yeah. Congrats.
Congratulations. We love
Thank
love
you.
6 years around here.
Yes.
All right.
And happy anniversary to y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then for everybody who wants to support you, where should they follow? Where should they go?
Yeah, so I am on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter sometimes, at the Baddie Galore. The Baddie Galore. And then also follow the Frequency Class on Instagram and TikTok, and follow the Queer Agenda. We are the Queer Agenda on Instagram and the Queer Agenda on YouTube.
This was really fun.
Everything's in my bio.
You gotta come
back.
Yes,
I'm so happy when you guys asked me. I'm such a fan of y'all show. I actually recapped one of y'all episodes that y'all did with AJ and Brittany, who are friends of mine. Yeah, from the Queer Ultimatum. So I love what you guys are doing. Keep doing it. And we definitely have to link if you guys are ever in the city, or if I'm ever in y'all cities, for sure.
100%.
Sure. We're always in DC at least some point of the year. Certainly Shana. So
yes.
We definitely.
I was like, I'm every holiday, just about.
My little cousin live out there. Family
the winter
live
holidays.
out there. Yeah,
yeah,
so we gotta
for
do
sure.
That. But yeah, we will have you back on, and we have it recorded. So now you have to come back on. But yeah, thank you for the content you make and being thoughtful about it, because that is, how I found you. It's like, oh, this is like really thoughtful and thorough content, and everything you do online and in real life. So.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
Awesome.
All right. Well, for everybody else who tuned in, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week.
Take care.
Can we talk about things? I'm sorry that I'm